Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where I want to show you how to use Relume to generate AI generated wireframes and bring those over to Framer and use those wireframes as a first step to create stunning websites for your clients or for yourself, right? Relume is a great tool. It started off as a component library, so if you're logged in, you can kind of see the different components that are available in Relume, right? Even if you're not logged in, and if you want to check that out, you can go over here under products and Webflow library or Figma library, right? And you can see the different types of components that are available. It's a massive component library. I think this is like the first component library that I've ever heard of. And by the way, they have a very beautiful website. I actually built this hero section in my own personal uh, Framer account. So if you guys are interested in getting that remix link, uh, comment something below and I'll reply to that. Anyways, so what we want to do today is we want to go into Relume, generate some type of wireframe, see how fast that works, and bring that into Framer in a very smooth way. Obviously, we're gonna need to involve Figma into this because there's no direct way to bring in Relume to Framer, but Figma would be kind of the middleman, and we're gonna be using a few plugins here and there. But it's quite a simple, transition, quite a simple process. So if that's something interesting for you guys, make sure to check around or make sure to stick around and let's do this together. And by the way, before we get started with actually creating something in Relume, let's go ahead and check out the pricing. So we have a free pricing model right here where it's one project and one page, meaning that you can test the AI out and you can generate a wireframe, but you can only see one page of that wireframe. So, mostly it would be the home page, right? And you can share it as a read-only link and export only to Figma, which is okay. I mean, if you're just building one page, it's a good deal, right? And that's completely for free. That's $0 a month. And then if you're paying for the yearly, let's just switch this to monthly to see. It's 26 US dollars per month. This is actually the one that I'm using, and it's for this video, right? It's one project, and one project equals 5 different pages. And by the way, there's a 7-day free trial for this. So if you go down to the description below, click on the link, and get your plan, you do get a 7-day free trial for your plan. So go ahead and check that out, which includes one project. So we're going to create one project for a dummy client today, which includes 5 different pages. So it's going to be a nice marketing website for them. Quite simple, but gets the job done. And then you can export that to Figma. You can export it to even Webflow and React. In this case, we only need Figma. And then there's the other one, which is $60 a month. And you can create unlimited projects, unlimited pages, and you can, it's basically the same as, the other one, which you can export to Figma, Webflow, and React. So this is more for like if you like this, if you try the 7-day free trial and you think that you might want to use this for several projects, you're getting clients coming in, $60 a month is a good deal. Then you can also try out this Relume Pro one, right? So yeah, that's basically it. That's with the pricing. So let's go ahead and check out the dashboard. So in the dashboard, we have this nice familiar looking dashboard if you're using Framer or Figma, right? Where you have the different projects, and then over here you have your account, which basically tells you recent projects, and then you can create a team. Then we have the Figma library, which we will need soon when we're done with our wireframe, because with this Figma kit, it's basically like I can show you really quick if I open Figma. It's basically this Figma file that shows different pages, and this is where you want to import your wireframe because you have different styles, right? So different, it's quite a massive page. But somewhere here we have the style guide, exactly right here, style guide. And here we're going to import our wireframe and our sitemap. So it's a very, nice systematic thing going on that Relume created, right? So here we would basically change the different fonts if we needed to, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to Chrome. So that's basically this Figma kit. And then, as we saw before, the Webflow library, which we won't be needing because we are framer builders over here. And okay, let's create a new project. So I'm going to click here on new project, and what we have going on is a few things. We want to first give this a title. So I'm going to call this YouTube tutorial. And right here, if you click on invite and earn, by the way, there's a special link, and your friend gets 50% off their first monthly plan. So after the after the 7-day trial, if you want to keep on using it, you get 50% off that first month, which is going to be what, $12 for that first month, which is pretty cool. So that's something that everyone has, I guess. So here we have sitemap, and we can create different types of sitemaps. So this is sitemap 1, which we're gonna delete for now. We can rename it. We can double click here and call second, but we don't really need that right now. So let's just delete this sitemap. So this is the area for the sitemap, and here is where you give your prompt, and here's where you choose the number of pages. In this case, we can only do 1 through 5. We can't do 5 to 10 because we can't export that. And then we can choose the language, right? If you're in English speaking like I am, you can click on this one. If you're in Finland, you can click on Finnish. If you are in Germany, German. So this is actually really great. The very small detail, but very valuable indeed. So sitemap, wireframe. Again, here, this is the same prompt. So when you generate a sitemap, the wireframe is going to be generated at the same time. And then we have this style guide, which is actually quite new. I haven't seen it before, but you can get started. Okay, we can see how that works after. And then over here, you can add comments if you're sharing this with a team. You can share this with other team members. And over here, you can click on what to export it to. So React or HTML export, we're going to be doing Figma, right? So here is where we create the primary sitemap. So I want to go back to the dashboard actually 1 second and show you this section over here, which is a set of different YouTube videos and different courses that you it's a course, a mini crash course on Relume, and there is this great episode number 3, mastering effective AI prompting. And here we have different types of prompts that we can create. So you can see that there's kind of a pattern here. There's the company description, there are the goals, and there are other relevant notes like that it might be useful for the AI to know. So like maybe you want the pages to be very short, maybe you want them to be extensive and repeat certain sections. You can also add that as well. So let's just use this, right? I want to use this as a type of starter, right? So let's go back to our recent projects. I'm going to close this, and let's go back into our project in here, and let's go here and let's paste this. So company description, Movement is the one that it's called, is a cutting edge training facility based in, let's put, instead of Sydney, Miami, where I'm from. So instead of Movement, let's call it like 305 305 Equip, I don't know, is a cutting edge training facility and merchandise store. Well, actually we have, this is actually e-commerce, so this would be pretty interesting as well to see. Based in Miami, Florida. Designed for high performance, so let's put a period. it's designed for high-performance athletes and those aspiring to reach peak physical condition while maintaining a tropical style. Let's just put it like that. Offering advanced sports science assessments, personalized training programs, and recovery services such as therapy, sports massage. 305 Equip caters to the specific needs of competitive individuals. Goals. Primary goals to encourage new members to join. Okay. Secondary goals includes driving downloads of the app. I'm going to put secondary goal includes secondary goals. Secondary goal is to suggest users to purchase their latest collection. And let's add a little e-commerce section here. So one page has to be a index, or not an index page. One page has to be a latest collection page that contains several new products, and another page must be the individual product page where people can add the product to the cart or purchase the product. Let's even go deeper than that. The nav bar has to have a add. The navigation bar has to have a quote unquote add to cart button and a get started button as a primary button. Okay, one page has to, okay, I mean, we can see other relevant notes include a coach's page. So we can actually put this, I don't want a blog, include a blog, include a coaching page. Okay, this is good. Let's generate this sitemap. And then as you can see, it starts generating automatically. So we have the nav bar, hero, header section, features list section, benefits section, services. And then we have the coaches, latest collection, join now, and product page. So let's generate this content. Commerce product section, really cool. Coaches, nav bar, header, team, feature. Okay, it doesn't really tell us much. It gives us a little bit of a description spotlight on our head coach. Really cool stuff. So let's continue generating here, join now, and then the product page. Okay, and now what we can do is we can set a wireframe. And then you can start seeing, so if you have the free version, you can only see the wireframe of the first page. The second page to the fifth or whatever, it's going to be blurred out. So this is something important to know. And if I zoom in, you can start seeing that some of these things are still being kind of generated, I guess, like the buttons. Yeah, join, shop. So I can already start seeing that there's no add to cart button. But it's just cool. I mean, here we have this product page, which is great. And it's actually doing a great job. So now what we can do, I mean, you can see here we select different things, and you can already start seeing on the left that we can generate page prompts, right? or we can regenerate page, or we can shuffle the components, or even we can do the copy. So what I want to do is I want to click on the nav bar and see. Okay, so you can see that it's using this specific nav bar, and you can see explore our pages, additional resources, community engagement, stay connected. Okay, we have the cart right here and the login. Interesting. So I did not see that actually. So that's really cool. And we even have testimonials. We can hover over that. And we can, hover over these things, and it gives us like another variant. I'm not even clicking on it. I'm just hovering over it. So that's really cool. You can so I really like that, because I don't have to click and see and not be afraid that I'm breaking something. It's giving me a preview. So Relume is giving me a great user experience when it comes to this. So we can just change this. I would prefer that this goes with images, right? This looks pretty cool. This is what the hero header section. We can see if it has a form, buttons, video, right? We can do something with a video. We can click on this and regenerate the copy. We don't really need that. We can click on this and have like a video background, no background, form. No, we need a button. What does the button say? Learn more, get started. If I click on the button, does something happen? Not really. No, but this is awesome. And now I want to try the style guide thing. So we have the different styles. And look at this. This is already giving me some type of like example of what it can look like with these colors. So I actually like this orange a lot, and you can kind of edit these different things. This can be like a blue, or we have different types of things here. Wow, it's amazing. And then this is linked to Google Fonts, so we can choose like some sans serif. We have pop-ins, which I'm not a big fan of, but we can change that to maybe something else. So what happens if I do this? Okay, you can kind of see how it looks like. This is amazing. Wow, this is like really next level stuff, I have to say. Okay, shuffle, epilogue. That's also cool. This one I actually prefer if it's something like blue. And how can I go like back if I don't like something? Can I refresh? Okay, I can undo. Awesome. The buttons, they even style the buttons. They do the cards and images, which looks amazing. If I can refresh this can be edgy, or this can be round. I can click here and kind of see the different things. They have like stuff that are really rounded. Wow, this is amazing. And they even add like images, right? They even add like a fake logo, which we can change obviously. And I want to see how we can export this. Well, I want to see how we can, change this color. Maybe we can make it a little bit, something in the pink realm, like a milky pink. And then we can make this one like maybe like a mint color. And then this one can be or black. Interesting. Pitch concepts. And then you can basically create like some type of, Wow, look at this. This is amazing. This is really, really cool. I mean, I like this style a lot, actually. This black, and this is kind of the style that I was looking forward to. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and try to export this. So export your style guide. We wanted you to try our style guide builder ASAP, so export is coming in the next update. We know it's essential. Wow, okay. So we can't do it yet. It's going to be coming soon for Figma, but I'm very excited to know when that's coming, because this is like really cool. Anyways, we have our style guide. We can use this as a basis, which is not bad. And what we can do is we can go ahead and export this to Figma. So it says export to Figma. Add your sitemaps or wireframes in Figma. Open the Relume Figma kit. So we did that. We had to open this Relume Figma kit and install the plugin and access all your projects directly. So open the Relume Figma kit, install the Relume Figma plugin. So I'm going to go ahead, open Figma, go to plugins up here, and go to manage plugins. And I'm going to search for Relume. And we have this Relume plugin. And I'm going to go ahead and log in. And once you're logged in, it looks like this. It says account successfully linked. Let's go back to Figma. And then you can see already here I'm back in Figma. And immediately it shows the project that I was working on. And we can add a sitemap or add a wireframe. I'm going to click on add wireframe. And I'm in the wireframe page over here. So let me just close this because I'm on a free plan. So right now it's a little bit, you know, it's taking some time to import everything, but you know, we're counting the seconds here. It's about 10 seconds already. Let's see how long it's going to take. Boom, it says that it's done. So let's overall like 15 seconds for these 5 pages, and you can see that it's grouped. So let's just ungroup this by clicking on Shift Command G, and let's just select each one of these and ungroup them again. So now we have these individual things here. So one thing that I am having kind of troubles with is with this mega menu thing. I'm just gonna delete this because, or at least take it on, put it on the side, right? I'm gonna put this here on the side so we know kind of how it's supposed to look like, but we don't want to have it as the main preview because it's open, right? So it's already responsive, which is great. Now what we want to do is we can go ahead and we can either style this here. So we can go to the style guide, and let's go back to Chrome and see how that looked like. So let's close these tabs and let me go to the style guide, and we have these colors, right? We have the Java and we have the cerise, and we have this black background, and we have this Bebas Neue heading and an Arial font. So this gives us like a good starting point to know how to style it, right? Now, what we have to do, if I go back to Figma, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we were styling these things. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and maybe edit this in a way. So let me just click here in the heading and go over here and adjust these settings. So this is going to be Bebas Neue, right? And we have that regular. And then this one again. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to go here. So I'm basically just correcting everything. So Bebas Neue and put regular, right? And then we can just do the same thing with everyone, right? So this is for the mobile. We want to do the same, which is just, oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Let me go back. So for the mobile, go here, click on these settings, Bebas, and regular. And then we can go back to our wireframe and see how that's working. So we can see that here it's working fine, but not everywhere. So let's just go here and see. This is the heading desktop 1. It should be taking over. I don't know why it's not. Okay, so now it is. This one as well should be taking over, I guess. Yeah, I just had to double click on them just to make sure that everything is working. So this one also, we just have to basically replace this. This might be a little bit time consuming, but eventually it will work. Oh, let's change this to regular place fonts. And boom. So step by step, it's working. This is, for example, the text normal. And what did we have again? We had RMO. So this is a great place to find some inspiration, right? I already found my color. Even if you don't have a branding, you're just trying to create a concept for like a portfolio or something. This is an amazing tool, right? Like I created this type of gym merchandise company based in Miami, and these colors fit Miami perfectly with the pink and the Java. So let's go back to Figma and let's see. Let's replace this with Arimo, I think it's called. Arimo. Just to make sure. Yeah, Arimo. Okay. So Arimo would be replaced in these different places. I hope this is also Arimo. I think so. This too. Yeah, so Arimo has basically been replaced in these different places. And now comes the buttons. So we have these different buttons. So let me go, actually, let me unlock this. I don't know why I locked it. Oh. Unlock. Okay. Let me go to this button. So main component, go to main component. Okay, so in the style guide under buttons, you can find the different buttons. You can also find the styles here. So you can have the different color system, background color, border colors, text colors, and then we have the buttons, right? So the buttons, if we can style it like this one, you can see that it's round and it has like a cool little shadow to it. So we can do that. We can go back to Figma and also set that up. We can go do something like this. Give it some nice rounded edges. I think 30 is enough. So let's just do this with all of these. Okay, so 30, 30, everything gonna be 30. And these as well. Gonna be 30. Just put 30 right here, boom. And let's make these guys also 30. So we have something more rounded, right? So if I were to go back to my wireframe, you can already start seeing that everything is being rounded up. So this is already, we're just going ahead and doing this straight in Figma, which is a great tool. Yeah, I mean, Figma is the best design tool in the world, I would say, right now in 2025. Obviously, I would prefer if we can do this directly in Framer, because I think in Framer you can even do this in the same quality, if not maybe better, or it's headed towards that direction for marketing pages, right? Not for massive UI systems. This seems pretty massive, but yeah. So we have these different colors. So primitive colors are the foundational building blocks of a design system's color palette. They serve as the base for more specific design decisions. So we have color brand, black and white. Now, how can I add more colors? We have different colors. If I were to select this and click here, we have different colors. And we have the primitive, we have color neutral, we have color success, we have background color, right? Border color, links, text, style. So everything seems to be extremely, neutral here. And then we have different schemes. And I hope that we can find the ones that they have in our branding, because I'm scrolling and you can see that there's a lot of scrolling left here. So I'm just curious to see if we find something like that. What was it called? Java? No, there's no Java. So icon danger. So this seems quite complicated. I would prefer to do this actually in Framer. So we could style this in this wireframe here in Figma, but we could also bring this in Framer and do the same thing. So right now you can see that everything is kind of fit with auto layout, which helps us a lot when bringing things into Framer, right? And that helps a lot. So, and especially with things like footers or like, these different sections here. There will be sections that we have to build again in Framer, like the nav bar, I would say. But there are great tools out there, paid or free, that can help you with this. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Let's bring this into Framer. So this is the Framer step right now. Let's open Framer. We have Framer here. And what I want to do is just bring in the different viewports. I do this with everything all the time in this style. Set this, well, we're going to eventually set this to a fit content, so it has a layout, or we can just go like this. And now everything has a fit, now everything is a stack, right? We got to bring in this information. I want to actually see if I can, so export coming March 4th, interesting. So I want to do this and bring this into Framer. And we can create these different style guides here. And I want to do the same thing with this. And bring this also into Framer. Boom. So we have this in Framer ready for us to style. Now what I want to do is the following. Let's go ahead and go to Figma and open a plugin called Figma to HTML with Framer. And it says it's loading, and I selected this home layer. It copied 204 layers, and now it says paste in Framer. So let's go into Framer and let's just paste it somewhere. Let's paste it. If I just randomly click somewhere and just paste it randomly, but right now I can see that our stuff has been added. It says that there's this home, but we're gonna delete this because this is just representing this frame. So we're gonna delete that and take this away. And we're going to set everything to be fill, because in the Relume or in Framer, I want to say everything is set to be at a width of 1,440 pixels. So if I were to go back to Figma, and the width is 1,440, so it would kind of help us if we were to make this not 1440 but 1200. That would help us a lot actually, and it would also help us if these things were also kind of set to fill. I don't know if that's fixed. Yeah, fill container. Oh, what am I selecting? Okay, yeah, you see, fill container. This would help a lot actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the section. Put it to fill container, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use the plugin again. and it copies the 204 layers. And then I'm going to go back to Framer. Let's just delete all of this. Boom, delete, and let's paste. And let's see how the magic works. Okay, it's starting to look much better. You can see everything fit. So let's set the height to fit content. And I'm just going to select this. It says with relative 100%, which also works. But if you know me, if you know my videos, you know that I like to use the fill width and not the relative width. So not such a big problem. We can already go like this, and we can see that it's, you know, it's starting to, it's at least for the desktop, it's working. And you know, these things, there's probably some things in here that are set to a fixed width. That's why it's not really growing, and that's why when I'm going down, it's not really scaling down, right? So, but that's not a problem. Let's go to our header. See, our content is set to width relative 100. This is, well, this is fixed. We want this to be fill. So if this is fill, this is fixed. Again, set it to fill. This is set to fit. Let's see if we go like this, fill. And this button also set to fit, sorry. And if I were to go like this, well, we still have kind of that problem here. Let's set this to fill. Let's set this to fill. And I'm just trying to see why. Okay, it has a padding. Okay, I think I know why. This is set to fixed. And we don't, again, we need to move all of these guys outside of the home. Very important, because the home doesn't work. And now this is giving us good signs. So this is what I was trying to do. You see, in the phone it's looking crappy, but all you gotta do is just flip this and it's starting to look better. So this is how the responsiveness starts to work. And for the sake of this video, we made 5 pages, but I'm just gonna do 1 page so that it's not so long and that you just understand the process, right? Again, we've done this one. This one seems to be working. I mean, this content at least seems to be working. There is a massive gap here that we can decrease. Especially here, we can probably make this go like this. And here for the phone, we don't want it to be 64. We can make it like 20. Decrease some of this gap over here. And make sure that everything is good. We might want to make these buttons, you know, these buttons over here set to fill, not fit, and then put them under each other like so. So now this is basically how you would start off with the responsiveness. Okay, I also want to go here and add some color assets. So we have the different styles, we have components, we have templates. Let's just start off with a color style. So a new style called the cerise, and the cerise is going to be this beautiful pink. We're going to add a new color called Java, and Java, let's click on this color picker and boom, we got the Java. And then what we want to do is we want to add neutral. So new style, neutral. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we can put 8. So neutral 8 is going to be this dark one, right? Create. And then we can duplicate and call this one neutral 7. And in neutral 7 we use a color picker and pick on the one on the top. We duplicate this, rename, call it neutral 6, neutral 6. Neutral 6, we use a color picker, go like that, boom. Duplicate this, neutral 5, color picker, boom. duplicate, and so on and so forth. So neutral 6. Oh, I didn't even. Neutral 6 is going to be this one? Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Neutral 7. I don't know why it's not letting me rename this. Let's put it like this. It's gonna save us time. Oh, 5, 6. Oh god. Oh, now I know why it's not working. 7, 6, 5, 8, 7. Oh my god. 6, 5, 4, 3, and then we need a new one. This one is gonna be this one. Yeah. And then duplicate 2, and it's gonna be this one. So we have our different neutrals, right? So that's looking good. We have our different colors. Now we can add text styles. So we can add like a H1 that would be a bebas. So obviously this is quite, or we can add the style like this. This would be easier. So we can add this style, new style, heading 1. So we already know that heading 1 is 56 bebas noi. We can add this as the paragraph. And this is the thing that's still kind of missing for Framer and Relume, is this ability to import your styles. I mean, there's probably a good workaround around this, but in this video, this is quite manual work. There should be something that can be easier. I'm sure of it 100%, but in this case, it's not really like that. So we have this. We have this placeholder, and if we know how to use Framer, this we would need a video component, so we can just put that in here, and this would be kind of the same type of size. So 738. We just call it a 730. And let's just remove this. So we have our video looking like this. It's great. It's great, really. We can decrease the video size for the different viewports, maybe make this a little bit smaller. But if we were to press play, and you can already start seeing that the responsiveness is working, and this is all built in, generated in Relume, brought into Figma, and now in Framer. So let's go ahead and fix everything. So all I have to do here is just make everything, set everything to a fill, right? Because that's where the responsiveness really takes place. So fill, and then we gotta select these two guys, set this to fill as well. So as you can see, it's all starting to make sense. Content, fill, let's remove that relative. I know that some of you might be fans of that, but I certainly am not. So make sure that everything is set to fill. These guys are set to fill. Amazing. Let's see if what happens with this one. This one doesn't look good, and we have to keep this at a fixed size because it's an icon, and you can't really put that as fill, but you can make these guys set to fill, right? Same with this one. You can set this to fill, right? So set this to fill, set this to fill, set this to fill. And by the way, if you guys are interested in more icons, there are Framer plugins where you can just click on icon and go down here, and there's 5 different types of icon libraries. There's plugins here like Iconify, I believe, which is one that I've been using for ages in Figma. And there's one with Relume. So I believe, let me see where it is. It's somewhere. It's somewhere here, but there's a Relume library. I think it's where you find the Figma file. And because I'm just got a little bit excited here because you can actually upload a logo asset, which is amazing, right? Amazing, amazing, amazing. So anyways, let's go back to Framer. And right, let's just finish with this responsiveness, which is going to take a little bit more. So this is looking good. Again, with the responsiveness, what is the key? Yes, making everything fill. Well, not everything, just the stuff that is supposed to be set to fill. So these texts are set to fix, no good. They have to be set to fill. So relative, I don't like it. Let's set it to fill. These two guys are set to fill. Perfect. How about this guy? This is an icon. Let's not touch it. These texts set to fill. These texts set to fill. And this set to fill. Perfect. And it can have a fixed height because, you know, we want it to have a fixed height. And that's okay. So this has to be set to fill. Okay. This can be set to something like this. And here, this can be set to something like this. This can be also, you know, going on the side. You can also put it like this, but I think it also works side to side. Okay, and let's do it for the next section. Fill, fill, and let's just set everything to fill. Tagline, fit, fill. This, fill, boom. Heading, fill, boom. Text, fill, boom. What's the gap here? Let's put it 40. Nice. This can be set side to side or it can be going under. This one as well. Where was it? Here. Go under like this, boom. This can be going like this, boom. And this, these are the buttons, so that's actually a good thing to do. And by the way, usually buttons are components. So this is a button, and we want to create a component called button. So we have variant 1, which would be primary. And here, this is where we want to basically, in Figma, you can style it in the style guide, but in Framer, you can just create it new. So you can just do stuff like this. This would be variant 1, variant 2, variant 3, variant 4, etc. And you can, you know, go back to Framer and select this. And instead of it being black, we can use this cerise. And then if we go back home, we can bring this cerise to different places. We can put it into this navbar, which, by the way, we're going to have to change this navbar once we're done with this responsiveness. And I'm going to show you the best way on how to create navbars in Framer. It's a plugin called Compa, really good, free, by the way. So let's see, this is looking good. These texts are not set to fill. As you can see, they're set to fix. Let's change that. And now they are going to be set to fill. So it's looking better and better by the minute. I really think so. And these are set to fill. These buttons are going to be set to fit, but here it's going to be going like this. And the buttons will be set to fill because in the mobile version, I mean, buttons have to be large. So here we got to set this to fill. So it's all basically, you know, we're doing the same thing here. Stars, we can leave that as fixed. Quotes, let's set it to fill. And as you can see, we can, this kind of spread it. What we need to do is just add a padding. Add a padding on the right and left. 30 and 30. Or 40 or 60. I don't know. However you want. We need to add that padding. So we got the stars, we got the quote, fill, avatar set to fit. We want to set it to fill, and then maybe we can put center. Boom. That's the responsive way of doing it. This, we can leave it as fixed. This is going to be an image, right? We can just replace that. And this is going to be the avatar. So Actually, I would just put these two together, and let's put this as fill, and let's put these together as one, right? So we have this this stack, we have this divider, and then we have the logo. If we press fill, we don't really want that. We don't want it fixed. We want it fit. So now the content is fit. So this is how we would kind of do that. Want to see how it looks like in the other version? We can just go like this and delete this guy, or maybe, you know, reverse it. So we can also flip it, you know, and then we can just adjust the gap. And as you can see, it's starting to cut off. It's because of the padding. So we could just adjust the padding on the phone to be 20 on the left, 20 on the right. And eventually we're going to have to adjust the padding everywhere on the phone because it's a little bit too much. And here, let's just set this to fill, right? It's like the same with everything. Fill, this is fixed. We don't want that. We want fill. We want this to be fill. We want these two texts. Usually when it's text, we always want it to be fill. This, let's just see, we have fill, and then we can put this to the center, and we can replace this with the button. So I can go like this, replace with project button, and then we have our little primary button. And then eventually when we do the whole button scheme, or when you do that, basically you can just replace all of these buttons with that. So it's a little process, right? Eventually, you know, you want to show the project to the client as a preview. You can do it eventually starting in March 4th with this. But if you wanted to make a real website and active in Framer and add these Framer animations and whatnot, then you got to do these little manual workarounds, making it responsive, very important. So Framer, let's get this. Let's scroll a little bit down. This is set to relative 100. Let's just fix everything, right? But you can start seeing how easy it is. I mean, it's just amazing how, you know, I just got this idea today of making this video because I'm a big fan of Relume. And by the way, this we have to change because this is not a real form. If we would want a real form, we would have to add a form element here. This one we have to set to fill. So everything here basically set to fill. Column set to fill. This set to fill, perfect. This set to fill. All of these different texts have to be fill. All of these have to be, well, all of these have to be set to fill. So let's just select all these individual text elements and put fill. And same here. And let's see this. This is relative. This should be fill. Should also be fill. Actually, these should be fit, not fill, sorry. Fit content. And then this row should be something like space between, yeah, but I don't know why it's not happening. Okay, yeah, for some things we want to make it fit. And then for this one, you know, you can already start seeing that these things are being a little bit messy. You might want to just set this like this. This whole thing, we would have to make this fit the content and fit, perfect. So this is starting to look good. And then for the phone, obviously it looks like crap, but just have to make sure that everything is just going in the right direction. let me see. What's the problem here? So we got this. It's looking okay. I'm going to already decrease the padding on the left and right. And then we have this big thing. It's not the grid, it's this links thing. All right. And the columns are set to fill. Okay. Now let's just do it like this. And this should be set to fit. Okay, there we go. And this should be set to this. And we can add some gap eventually, like so. Gap doesn't have to be so crazy. It can be something like this. And boom, this is basically it. I mean, we brought in the wireframe from, from Relume to Figma and to Framer, and it's now responsive. So if I were to just go like this, we can basically just scroll down and see that everything is responsive. So just making sure that several things have less padding, right? So these things, let's just put the padding 2020. And now you can see the height actually getting smaller, which is great. Looking amazing, by the way. And your job as a designer is basically, you made this video, add the video, create the different backgrounds. So for example, for Framer, this color of the background would be the 8. And obviously we would have to, let's put this gap to 0, and we would have to make these sections not have a fill, right? And then we would have to make sure that our headings have a specific color. So this would be white, or it can be the 2, right? This one over here can be, oh, I clicked on it, my bad. This has to be 2 as well. And then for the paragraph, we can edit this, and this can be the 3 or the 6. 3 looks good, right? So long story short, we're just making sure that everything looks good. I'm gonna make this actually a 7 for now, so that we can kind of see everything. We want this to be Bebas, and this is gonna be what, the H3 style, H3. Yeah, I don't know why it changed the style. It should be Bebas. There we go. And the color should be this white, right? And all of these different things, you just have to select them and make sure that they are in the same style. Obviously at the end, this is going to help you a lot with your SEO, but this is kind of the manual workaround behind it. So you select different things, and I believe that with the manual workarounds, you're actually going to learn a lot. So just letting you know, right? So I definitely recommend you doing that if you are new to this, that you learn how to do it manually before you actually start trying to, do things quickly. H3, this is going to be the H2, this is going to be the H2, this is going to be Bebas Noi, so let's just Bebas, and let's add a new style called H4, and then let's edit the style to be the brightest white. Let's put this H4, was it? Yeah. So this would be like, for example, I don't know, paragraph, and then you'd have to replace these buttons. This would be an H4 maybe, or H3. We can actually put this in the middle, or H2. It's gonna be a body. Several things you'd have to make sure that they are aligned and working well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just remove these backgrounds, right? as you can start seeing that it's starting to look good. From 7 to 8, so it's darker. Now it's starting to look more like what we had over here, right? And some sections are actually in this 7 mode, so we can do that as well. So if we go back to our framer, these 2 sections over here are set to our 7 mode. So we can add a fill that is 7, boom, and you can start seeing that it's now starting to look more and more like that, which is, you know, it's in you're the designer here, so you can decide what you want. So for this, let's just add a picture of a gym. Maybe I don't think this picture matches what we want. So what we can do is we can go to Framer, and we can go here, and for this placeholder, we can choose a plugin in Framer called Relume, and we can search for gym Miami. You know, maybe they have something in Miami style, like outdoors, gym or beach, right? Let's see, maybe they have something like that. Not really. Doesn't matter. We can choose something like, what does this section say? Unlock something. Okay. Join the elite. Okay. We can put something like this, right? So, and then it automatically goes to the other ones because it's Framer and it does this responsively. That's why I open the different ones at the same time. The different viewports, you want to do that. And so yeah, that's basically how you would style. So in this last part, let me just go over the nav bar. So I want to go to Compa, and under blocks, under nav bar, we have a bunch of different nav bars that we can choose, but if we just want a simple one, right, which by the way I think is a good idea for this project, we can just go ahead and drag and drop that, boom, and delete this one. And then just to you know, make sure that it's responsive, again, what's my tip? Make it fill, and make sure that these are set to tablet and phone, because this is a component just like a button is a component, and they have different variants. Once you start adding variants, you can select the different variants. And here basically you would just have to unlink this and replace it in your project and adjust the different things. Add the logo, add the different text, you know, edit this drop down and so on and so forth. Right? So that's pretty much it for now, I would say. And it was pretty fun. I'm very excited for this to actually be ready to try in March 4th. Very, very excited for this because I think this is an amazing tool. And I am excited to see the workflow between this and presenting it to your clients and building it in Framer. Like, how is that going to work? How fast is it going to be? How is the customizability going to be? You know, bringing this into Framer, I have a lot of questions, right? But this is a really cool tool to use, Relume. I mean, we have our sitemap, we have our wireframe that we brought into Figma over here under the wireframe. We can even bring our sitemap if we wanted to, so that the client could actually comment on stuff. So sitemap, wireframe, style guide, so we can have a good overview of how it should look like based on several colors. You can add the colors, you can change the colors, you can, you know, analyze different types of text styles like fonts, and then eventually you can export it March 4th, or you can just try to eyeball it in Framer like I did. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys learned something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them down on the comments, and I'm more than happy to help you. Yeah, and hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Thank you so much.